Look at that. Look at my bum. Before I started eating tea cakes, my bum was flat like this. This was my bum. Now, look at this. That's all your fault introducing me to tea cake. What's the crack? What's the story, people? Welcome back to the channel. We're back with lovely, beautiful reaction review, but what you wanna call it? I got some lovely wee tea cake. Wee tea cake. I'm only having one today. And also, I'm so sorry to every Scot out there. So sorry for about Scotland. So sorry. Next time. Euros 2020, is it 2028? Scotland's gonna win. You never know. Grab your cappuccino. We're checking out Edinburgh, the best and worst of visiting Edinburgh. I've already been there and I absolutely loved Edinburgh. I thought it was lovely, beautiful place. So I'm intrigued to see what someone else has to say about Edinburgh. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree down below. Let's go.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World. Today we're in the Scottish capital of Edinburgh. And today what we have for you are the 5 things you're going to love and hate about visiting Edinburgh. And I'll be honest, I love this city. It is a beautiful place with the architecture and the stone and the just museums. I mean, it's really cool. But there's things you might not like.
Also, I'm not happy with some of you guys. Last time I went to Edinburgh, I kept calling churches castles, and you guys are taking a piss out of me. Now I do know the difference between a castle and a church, so be nice to me in the comments. Be nice. I'm learning. Let's continue.
And that's why I like to start off with those hates, but I think this time it's more of a set of mild annoyances, okay? Now, the first thing you're not gonna like when you come to Edinburgh is most likely you're gonna be renting a car and gonna go travel the rest of Scotland, and you might wanna drive into Edinburgh. Look, the first hate I have is finding parking and driving around Edinburgh. Look, as you might know or you might not know, they drive on the left side of the road here in Scotland, and so that can be a little difficult with the roundabouts and stuff like that. But here in Edinburgh, what's really going to get...
In my opinion, if you're watching this for the first time, you're thinking of going to Edinburgh or Glasgow, I don't think you should rent a car. Do you know, I feel like you can rent a car if you live in Edinburgh than going somewhere in the islands, you know what I mean? You go to an island, whatever. Even if you go to Ireland, it depends what island you're going to. Most places, like I've been to Scotland like 20 times at this stage, and I never rent a car. Although, if I want to do the NC 500, which is going to the North Coast area, then I'll probably have to rent a car. But I've been to an island without renting a car. I feel like Edinburgh, no, you're going to be stressing yourself out if you rent a car. Let me know. I could be wrong here. In my opinion, just the whole stress of finding parking or that, nah, no chance I'm renting a car in Edinburgh. No chance. I get on the train, 4-hour train, straight to Edinburgh from Birmingham. I get there, get outside, walk around, do my stuff, check out places, go, and then get back on the train. Easy. ScotRail is very good as well. Literally, ScotRail goes to a lot of places. Fair play to ScotRail. Let's go.
You is finding the parking if you are going to be coming here. So what I recommend, if you're flying in and Edinburgh is either the beginning or the end of your trip to Scotland, I would fly in, come and visit Edinburgh, then head back out to the airport and get your car after you've been in Edinburgh for a few days. Or what we did is we flew into Edinburgh, got our car, drove around for a week or so, and then dropped off the car back at the airport, and then we took the tram into the city and just spent a few days here in Edinburgh. It really makes your life a lot easier because driving and parking here is a pain in the behind, so just a heads up for that one, okay? Now, the second thing that you might not like when you come here, and again, like I said, these are more like mild annoyances or mild things you might not know, is more of getting oriented here. Look, there's 7 hills here in Edinburgh, and so you have to do a lot of walking uphill and things like that, which some tourists aren't a big fan of, especially the little tiny ones. Liam said, my legs are going to die. So yes, bring good shoes. But the thing is, when you look at the map, it'll look like things are easy to get to, like they're right next to each other, but sometimes there'll be a bridge going across, and what you want to see is in the lower city.
In my opinion, all right, okay. After spending the first 2 hours, I was walking everywhere without knowing it could have taken me, it could be easier. Like, is it the Royal Mile? I think I call it the Royal Mile. Like, I kept walking around when I could just come into. There's so many shortcuts you could walk into. There's so many little alleys you go into. I feel like if you plan it properly, you guys know I never plan wherever I go to. I just gallivant around. But if you have kids, plan it properly. I'll probably start off with the biggest one. Go to the castle. After the castle, I feel like you're just going down or afterwards. Like, if you go to the castle, then you have to walk up the way up. Or I could be wrong. I didn't go to the, is it the underground vaults? I am planning to go there next time I go to Scotland. That seems pretty cool. But yeah, apart from that, actually, if you go into the Museum of Art, is it Museum of Art? You have to go all the way down. Yeah, you're walking downhill. It's not too shabby. And if you go into the, is it River Meet? Oh, what's it called? Oh, I forgot what it's called now. The place I explored, the waterfall area. I forgot what it's called now. The village area. Yeah, if you're going there, you're walking downhill most time. I feel like it's just one of them things that you know you're gonna walk. Like if you're going to Edinburgh, it's like going to central London. You know you're gonna walk for the whole day, so be prepared to walk. That's what it's all about. I don't think it's more. It's like everywhere, every country. I feel like every country you go to, the major cities, the capital, or that, it's gonna be busy. That's just the way it is. Again, I could be wrong. I'm always trying to shit, as some of you say. Actually, people don't really say that anymore. I think I say that to myself now. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that.
Versus the upper city, and that can get a little confusing for some tourists. So whenever you see something and it says, oh, it's just 500 meters away, it might take you a little bit more time than your usual 500 meters. So getting oriented to it. But once you get it, you're totally fine. But just know those hills and getting oriented to the map, that can be a little bit of a throw off for some tourists when they come here. Now, the third thing you might not like about coming to Edinburgh is, look, this place has become very, very popular for weekend travelers, and you're probably gonna be coming here on a weekend or during a weekend and stuff like that, and it can get packed with tourists. But it seems like the packed with tourists part is really only in the Royal Mile from basically St. Giles Cathedral to the Edinburgh Castle, and you're like, oh, fighting through people, and there's cool buskers, by the way. There's buskers, there's all this stuff going on, people playing bagpipes, and you're just like, I just want to get to the castle. And it can get frustrating with all those tourists. So what I recommend is if you can come off season, okay, you'll be fine. Or just come during the week in the summer, you're usually okay. I will warn you though, during the Edinburgh Festival in August, it's really packed. Like you can.
Wait, that's in August. I have to come. I have to come for that. All right. Look, listen. We have to plan this properly. In August, I have to come for the festival. And I have to hopefully meet some of you guys. Let me know who's going to the August the festival. I have to come. I thought I had noise there. I have to come to that. So please let me know. It's gonna be so expensive. Because I was just checking randomly. Because sometimes I just want to go to Edinburgh or Glasgow for just for the laugh of the day. And I was checking for this weekend. It's about £150 for an average room in a hotel in Edinburgh. So imagine what's gonna be like during the festival. Fucking hell. Sorry for cursing. It's probably gonna be like 250, 300. I know it's okay. The festival is about films, food, and all that, innit? Film, food, music. I could be wrong. I've never been to the festival. I don't. You guys, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know a lot about the festival, but I think it's something I would really love to experience. So yeah, let me know if you guys go to the festival. Why do you go to the festival? And also, I'll probably have to check out a video regarding the festival just to have more knowledge. But yeah, let me know if you're gonna go to the festival or not. Let's continue. This geezer, I'm agreeing with some of the stuff he's saying. Like, do go on a weekday, because I went on a Friday morning and it was grand. And after you leave the castle area, everything is all right. It's not that busy, and you do get buskers, so you're entertained. Most areas you go into, it's not too bad in my opinion, in my humble opinion.
You're like this everywhere you go in town, not just on the Royal Mile, but everything down near the castle where a lot of the festival big concerts happen. But there's a lot of stuff that goes on around the city. She'll be okay, but just know those weekend smushies. Yes, I know a lot of the airlines are coming here and all kinds of stuff to get here and to get the cheap airlines here. But yeah, you're gonna have to deal with a bunch of tourists on the weekends because it really is a great city. And yes, that is me saying I hate myself, but that's just the way it is. Now, the next thing you're not gonna like when you come here is the airport. Look, when we flew in, I thought, oh, they must be under construction. That's why they put us at this gate and this entryway. Oh, no. The Edinburgh airport needs some work, and you're gonna need some time to get through it because it's too small for what a city like this with getting so many travelers coming through. So it can be kind of a headache. Now they are working on it. Like the tram line to go in and out is great. Take that in and out. Buy your return ticket when you come in. It's a lot cheaper that way. But the airport itself is just a pain in the butt. And if you got a morning flight, man, don't think you're just going to show up at 6 to get that 7 o'clock flight, because it gets so packed, and getting through security and those things can take a lot of time on weekday mornings, especially Monday mornings. So do give yourself some extra time if you're going to be going for a morning flight. Also, when you get through the check, and you check in and security and all through these things, you're thinking, oh, finally, I'll get to the gates. There'll be plenty of room to relax. I can find a seat, stuff like that. No, it's a rather small.
All right, I do not have a lot to say regarding Edinburgh Airport, because I've never flown to Edinburgh Airport. I've only flown to Glasgow, and Glasgow Airport, in my opinion, was perfect. I remember I had pancakes at the I can't remember what it's called. There's a restaurant in the departure. It's not really a restaurant, like a little pop-up. It's not that big. The pancakes was unbelievable. I had pancakes with some scrambled eggs. I can't remember where at, but it was so good. The pancakes were so nice, and they were so cheap. I think it was under £10 for like 3 or 5. Was it? Probably 3 to 5 stack of pancakes. And I was so surprised about how nice it was. So Glasgow for me was grand. I think the reason why I don't see Edinburgh building a new airport is the fact that it's Edinburgh. It's not that busy all year round. It's only busy for between probably like May to like October, and I'm pushing it. I think that's why it wouldn't make sense unless the tourism board start making ridiculous amount of money. Because most places you go to is free anyway in Scotland, in Edinburgh, which is so good. That's why I love Scotland for. Most other stuff is free to see. It's perfect. It's unbelievable for that. But yeah, I don't see them building any airport. And you have airports in Glasgow. I think there's one in Dundee as well. But if you live in the UK, I'd say get the train or get it. I've never got a coach before. The train for me from Birmingham is 4 hours direct. And for me, 4 hours is nothing, because I've taken train for like 7-8 hours going to Dundee. So 4 hours is nothing to me. So it depends what you're into. And the train is not actually expensive. I pay about £60, £50 to £60 for a return when I go Glasgow. When I go to Glasgow, Edinburgh on the train. And the flight is about probably 70, 80, between 70 to £100 of return. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Anyway, sorry, I keep pausing it, but there's so much to talk about. I've actually experienced this. It's different if you haven't experienced it, which is so good to see. Again, let me know other cities you guys want me to react to regarding this. Let's continue.
Departure area, so just a heads up for that one. And the fifth thing you might not like about coming to Edinburgh has to do with bringing your kids. Look, Scotland itself and Edinburgh itself are fantastic for bringing your kids, from outdoor activities to museums to just looking around like, oh my gosh, it's like we're in Harry Potter world everywhere we go. Yes, the kids will love Edinburgh and they'll love Scotland. But the thing is, it's in Scotland and Edinburgh itself, you do have the rules that no kids in the bar after 8 o'clock. Some bars will say no kids at all, or no kids under 5. And the thing is kids usually like the pub grub, the fish and chips, and I know you're supposed to go to a chippy shop for that, but the bangers and mash and all these things you want to have.
Do you know what I've realized when it comes to fish and chips? I think the fish and chips in the restaurants, in my opinion, are better than one in the chip shops. I've tried one in the chip shop and I've tried one in the restaurants, and I realized the one in the restaurant are a little bit better. And I think the one in the chip shop is probably more expensive sometimes. I'm just talking about my own experience now, because I've had some decent fish and chips. Oh my god, some decent fish. And also when it comes to the kids thing, because I don't have a kid. Well, I don't think I do. Do I? I don't have a kid. But yeah, I don't have a kid I'm bringing to Glasgow or Edinburgh, so I don't have a lot to say about that. Let me know. Have your kids been denied into a pub after 8 o'clock? Let us know down below. Thank you.
When you're here, and yes, you should have the haggis, okay? You should try it when you're here. But the thing is, the kids can't go in. So that means you can't go in. And that can be tough, because you're like, you know what? I don't want to eat, McDonald's or Pizza Hut or something like that when I'm in Scotland. I want to go to a Scottish pub and have pub dinner and stuff like that. So if you do have kids...
No, you don't have to go to a pub. There's loads of restaurants. Especially in Glasgow, Edinburgh. I feel like people just tend to think, come to the UK, it's about the pub life. There's so much restaurants where you get the same kind of pub feeling. Like there's levels. There's obviously you got the posh restaurants, and then you got some where it's very similar to pubs. And I feel like they allow kids. Or I might just change shit. I don't think I am. No.
Kids, and you want them to have that pub experience, go for lunch not dinner, unless you're going to eat like at 5 or 6 o'clock. Otherwise, your kids won't be able to get in, and then you won't be able to get in. So that's kind of frustrating. Now, these 5 hates aren't really that bad. They're all things you can deal with. And I didn't mention, yes, the weather here is kind of so-so-y, but I talk about that in the love and hates of Scotland in general. So that's one of those things. But the thing is, what are you going to love when you're here? And for me, and the one thing that the tourists always go to, we all flock to the one place, we flock to the Royal Mile. The Royal Mile is the road that goes from the Edinburgh Castle to the Palace of Holyrood House at the bottom where the Queen stays when she's there. And this way, it's got St. Giles Cathedral, which is just gorgeous to go inside. You have beautiful stained glass in there. You need to pay £2 to take pictures, by the way. It's got when you're walking down outside of St. Giles, it's got the little heart you spit on for, good luck or come back to Edinburgh. You've got Edinburgh Castle at the very top with amazing views of everywhere around town. You can see the Scottish crown jewels and stuff like that there. A lot of history in the museum. You walk down, taking in the architecture. The church is just looking around going, wow, wow. I mean, it's just really, really beautiful and nice. And there's nice museums on there, and so you want to check those out. But you're walking down there and you see that, and you come down and there's Arthur's Seat on the right of Holyrood House, and then you've got Calden Hill on the other side with the monuments on there, and it's just gorgeous. And that's your really touristy.
Do you know what? I think it's crazy how our life works. Before I went to Glasgow, my thought, I was so interested in seeing the city life in Scotland. But then after going to some cities and seeing, like, you can't avoid the nature, like, the little rivers, the hills in Scotland. It's ridiculous. That's why I'd advise anyone that's thinking of going to Scotland, don't worry about going to all these cities. Go to the islands. In my humble opinion, because I feel like you could always experience, the cities are always they're always going to be similar. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like each island has something that's different. It's like saying you're going to London, Manchester. Like, it's all, you might, obviously, London might have, the Queen's, the King's Palace and all that. But imagine you go to, like, I went to the Isle of Arran. Like, the scenery, the hikes you go onto, the walks. Sorry, I'm just thinking back now, you going for, I'm coming back from dinner and I'm seeing a dare just walking around. It was me and the dare was just there. I was so shocked, like, you don't see that in your cities. So in my opinion, definitely, if you go in Scotland, make sure you go onto an island. You don't have to go to Isle of Arran, but I feel like every single island has its own something that's different. Your island might be full of, dolphins, seals. What's that bird called again? Something catcher. What's it called? They got red legs. I think they're always chatting. I never knew what they were until I went to Isle of Arran. Now I absolutely love them. I forgot what they're called now. But yeah, again, I'm chatting shit, and I love chatting shit, and I love this. It's been a while since I actually did a long reaction. I'm doing a lot of vlogs. There's one vlog left from Arran, which is my last day in Arran. Oh, it was so emotional. A lot of stuff happened that day. But yeah, I think that's probably, I'm going to let that come out on Friday. I think Friday. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Let's continue.
Place for a reason, because it's gorgeous. And the thing is, that leads us into the second thing you're going to love here is, if you're going to go up Arthur's Seat or Calden Hill or just anywhere, the views around the city are amazing. If you go down to the Grass Market and you get a view, you get some nice pictures up to the castle that way. Or you walk up to Calden Hill, you can see everything from the castle up there. It's just amazing views and scenery everywhere in the city. And you go around and you see the architecture. I'm just on some back road outside the center of town, okay, outside the new town, and it's gorgeous. I mean, and that's one of the things you love, is the views of Edinburgh everywhere you go. Just like in Scotland, everywhere you go just seems like a postcard beautifulness. And so I really say is, look, don't just stick to the Royal Mile. Yes, that's my favorite part of it, and you're gonna love it, but go explore.
It's crazy because, like, I didn't spend that long on the Royal Mile. I was there for like less than an hour. Literally, the whole time I spent it on the outskirts of Edinburgh, not the outskirts, but like walking through the village area. I think that's just me. I don't like, okay, now I love people, but I love doing things different. Do you know what I mean? Because the whole time I was doing that, I mainly saw locals. So it's good to always go to places where locals are. You know what I mean? Because like everyone sees the castle. Yeah. The castle was alright. I feel like the castle was good, but I feel like it was just, everyone spoke so much about the castle that it wasn't as amazing as I would have wanted to be. I still liked it. I think it was an amazing place. But you know when I enjoyed seeing the rivers and all that because no one's told me about the rivers. I enjoy that more. That's just me. That's just me personally. Yeah.
You know, see that Scott Monument? Go out there, check out the Princess Gardens, but keep going, check out the Newtown and all kinds of places. You'll find amazing statues and cool statues all over. We found a Sherlock Holmes statue yesterday. I mean, it's just like one of these cool things, and that's why you really have to explore. Don't just stay on that Royal Mile. Get out and explore and see some of those great views around the city. Now, the third thing that I love about coming to Edinburgh are the shops. There's the vintage shops, there's the kooky shops, there's the over-the-top touristy Scotland shops. And the thing is when you come here, you know, if you're coming for like your traditional H&M and Zara shopping and things like that, that's in the new town, not the old town. The old town's where the Royal Mile is. You're going to go across the Princess Gardens and go across there, and you'll see the Scott Monument and stuff. Over there is where you're going to have your traditional high street shops. But if you want to go shopping in Scotland, you go to Glasgow for the shopping.
I've been thinking of this. Please, if you know someone that owns a kilt shop in Glasgow or Edinburgh, preferably, please email me. Because I would love to work with them and my plan is to go there, try on a kilt. Please, I'm not going to buy a kilt. Actually, should I buy a kilt? I could buy a kilt. But I would, first of all, because I don't know how kilt works. So I would want to make a video and obviously promote the place and spend like 40 minutes there just, trying on different kilt, learning about the history of kilts. Do you know what I mean? It's something that I've always been mesmerized about. I remember the first time I seen a kilt, I'm like, why is this guy wearing a skirt? That's what I thought. Like, what's this guy doing? I was about 10 or 11. I think they would go to a wedding. I was like, why is this guy wearing a skirt? And then I think my mom told me, oh, that's his Scottish culture. And I was like, that's interesting. I never knew that. But yeah, it'd be good to actually go into the shop, speak to people that work there, and they probably tell me more stuff about it. So yeah, if you guys know more history about kilts and all that kind of stuff, anyone that owns a kilt shop, a cool kilt shop, please email me or comment down below. Let's continue.
But Edinburgh, what's cool about Edinburgh is there's very, I would say, eccentric, eclectic shops. And you're going to go to those to find kooky little souvenirs. Or if you want to find vintage clothing, things like that, go down by Grassmarket. Around there, there's some really cool vintage places. Jocelyn loved it. I mean, it's got to be pretty cool if the husband is like, yes, I want you to go shopping for vintage clothes because it's so cool. And that's one of the things you're going to really love are these cool, quaint shops that are here. And don't worry if you're not going to buy something, just go in and check it out. And they'll have all kinds of little things. I know Harry Potter is still very popular here, and you'll see when you walk around, you'll see the influence that Edinburgh really had on the Harry Potter series. And you'll see there's, of course, cheeseball shops that are for that, but they're fun to go in as well, okay? So that's one thing I love, is going shopping in the eccentric shops here, not just the traditional, H&M, John Lewis, M&S kind of stuff. Now, the fourth thing you're gonna love about coming to Edinburgh is basically going around town, taking in the museums and the sites that are here, but things that aren't on that Royal Mile. Though I'm gonna mention two places that are. One, the Museum of Childhood is really cool. It kind of gives a history of what it was like to be a child in different epochs. Also, the Museum of Storytelling, or the Storytelling Museum, that's really cool because Scotland has a really rich history of storytellers, and it is pretty cool, so you can check that out. And those are on the Royal Mile. But if you venture out farther, take the public transport out to Roslin Chapel. You can see the Apprentice Column and all these kind of stuff.
That's one thing I never did in Edinburgh. I never took a public transport. I didn't do that. Maybe just because I was just walking around. Again, I feel like I still got strong legs. Well, not for long. And I feel like the best thing to do, if you're in places where public transport is not that big, don't walk around. But obviously, I feel like if you're in Edinburgh or Glasgow, just walk around. I feel like that's the best for me. Like, people were telling me to take the up-on, up-off bus, the tourist bus. Like, nah, it's not the same. Obviously, when someone is telling me, the history and all that, yeah, fair enough. But I want to go there myself. It's different to me being on a bus and someone say, oh, that's where that happened. I want to be able to walk there and see it. Oh, let's spend time there, actually, choose how long I want to stay there. That's just me. I feel like it depends on how long you have. Because me, that day, I didn't have a plan. I just said, you know what, I was just going to go explore. And I'm so glad I did it the way I did. Because I saw so many stuff that I would have never seen if I'd gone on a up bus. But that's nothing against them buses. I might take it one day and see what's like. I think it's probably because I've never done it ever in any city. Maybe that's why. But yeah, let me know your experience if you've done it.
and you'll hear the history about it. And yes, I know 20 years ago, Da Vinci Code was really cool, but you'll see those things there. But you go around and there's so many things to do. You want to go hiking outside of town, you can do that. Walking up Arthur's Seat is always really cool. The views, like I talk about. But also when you are here, you get out and you explore the different areas of the city, and you're going to see great architecture, great people, great stuff all over. And that's one reason we really love Edinburgh, because it's not just that old town historic part, it's the rest of the city as well that has some cool churches, some museums, the botanical gardens, they're right back over here, okay? And you can see these things, and it's really cool, but you gotta venture out. And the thing is if you're using Edinburgh as a base, you can venture out on the train to Glasgow to see the art and do shopping there. It's only 45 minutes. I mean, you can go there in the morning, come back in the afternoon, you're fine, okay? Though I will tell you another hate I guess I should mention is the shops close around 6 sometimes, but the tourist places, they stay open longer, so just a heads up on that one. Make sure you're looking at when things are closing and opening, so you make sure you can shop when you want. And I think the last thing I'm gonna say about the things you're gonna love about Edinburgh is Edinburgh has amazing tourist infrastructure. There are tons of hotels, bed and breakfasts, apartment rentals. Those things really make it.
I think, you know what, there are, but I think one thing that's missing is they're not cheap. like I said earlier, they're very, very expensive. I feel like, obviously, I'm not sure if there's a lot of Travelodge and Premier Inn there. I think you need a lot of mid-range hotels coming in, because I feel like there's a lot of high-range hotels. Maybe I think that's probably just because the city, it's Edinburgh, it's meant to be a classy city. While like in Glasgow, there's more low-end hotels. You get a few easy hotels here and there. Is there an easy hotel in Edinburgh? I'm not sure. Because I stayed at an easy hotel in Glasgow, and I think I paid about, how much did I pay? It was like £120 for 2 nights, was it? I can't remember now. I think it was something around that for 2 nights in Glasgow in city centre, and I was on, and I had a city view as well. And easy hotel Glasgow, they were so nice to me. They were so nice to me. So yeah, it depends on how much you're spending. In my opinion, I'll probably, if you're staying longer, probably stay on the outskirts of Edinburgh. I'd say find a little town, maybe not town, find somewhere that's probably like 20 minutes. If you're driving 20 minutes from Edinburgh, stay there, then go into Edinburgh. I wouldn't stay in the city centre for like more than a day. It's so I'm sorry, maybe just me, it's too expensive for me. If the hotel is more than £70 a night, it depends on, because you're not getting the best. It's not like the best hotels anyway. It's all right, but yeah, it's just too expensive for me. Let me know what you guys think.
It easier for tourists in different price categories. Hostels, I mean, if you're a hostel backpacker, you can do it here. If you're a wealthy family that wants to have nice tea and crumpets, well, they've got the Balmoral. Okay, you have all these places you can go and stay in all price ranges. Also, we have a family with us. We're staying, we're here as a family. We've rented an apartment, all kinds of stuff you can get. Obviously, during the festivals, the prices go up. But the thing is, the infrastructure is there for the accommodation. Restaurants and pubs and all those things.
I really want to come for the festival, but I think the thing that's going to stop me is the accommodation. I don't see myself coming in. I don't want to come in and go out, and then come in again and go out. It's the accommodation that's killing me. It is.
Plenty of stuff to go out and eat, which is nice, but also the tour infrastructure in terms of how well things are displayed, how helpful the people are at sites around town. They are quite nice. And if you have any questions, whether you're at a castle or a museum, just ask the docent that's there, and they will give you the history times 10 about what you're seeing. And that's what's really great about it. You see that pride that the Scots have in their country and the Edinburgh people have in Edinburgh, and it really comes out in that helpfulness for the tourists. And I really love that. And I mean, we can go on about the tourism infrastructure. The buses here, they go all over the place. You can take them no problem. The tram line that comes from the airport down to the center takes about 40 minutes from the airport to the last stop at York Place. It's great and it's easy. And that's why when people are looking to come to Europe, I'm like, hey, if you want something, a simple place that you feel comfortable and English is your native language, Edinburgh is your spot, because it is just a great place to check out. I love it. I know this is the love and hates, but you'll notice those hates were like mild annoyances that you can deal with. But honestly, it's a beautiful city with wonderful people. And yes, you will find some quirky things like fried Mars bars and fried pizza and black pudding. But we talk about the food in other videos. So anyway, I hope this helped you get better prepared for visiting Edinburgh. It is a fantastic city, if you haven't noticed, because I said that about 400 times. If you want to learn more about Edinburgh and traveling in Scotland, check us out on our website at waltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we really appreciate getting new videos out every Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely check him out. I started watching him about 2-3 years ago, because he does. I feel like if you want to go anywhere in the world, he's been there. He's probably been there, and I feel like his videos are very, very good. But I feel like everyone has different opinions to what he's saying, because I feel like growing up in the UK, there's some stuff that is so normal to me. Because while people from America might be like, nah, that's a bit of a like, we're so used to being able to walk around everywhere. Well, like in America, it's everywhere's massive where you need a car. So for me, going around Edinburgh was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. It wasn't. I could go around without driving a car. The only reason I'll bring a car is if I'm going from Edinburgh to somewhere else, or I want to get back, and I know there's no train for me to get back to Birmingham. That's the reason why. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It's been a while since I did a long reaction. The last long reaction I usually do was Still Game. I love Still Game. You guys know that every Monday. But yeah, if you guys want to see more stuff like this, please comment down below. Let me know the city you want to check out next. I plan to go to a lot of islands in Scotland. That's the plan. The only reason that's stopping me from going right now is the money. So right now I'm trying to save as much as I can so I can go to all these islands. I'll be going live on Thursday. I do go live every Thursday if I can, to update you guys on what's the plan, what I'm doing, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, check me out on Instagram, Eddie Chi Travels. That's going really well actually. TikTok as well on Eddie Chi. So Instagram, Eddie Chi Travels, TikTok, Eddie Chi. I post a lot there just to give you guys update. Yeah, thank you so much for your likes and everything. Subscribes, comment. Check out my Patreon if you want to support this channel. Thanks for the tea cakes. You guys are the one buying me tea cakes. If you want to support the channel through PayPal, you can only send me something on PayPal. If you can. If you can't, that's grand. It's going on to my tea cakes and my big bum right here. This is all you guys. Look at me. Look at me bum. Look at this. 1 second. Where's the camera? Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at my bum. Before I started eating tea cakes, my bum was flat like this. This was my bum. Now, look at this. That's all your fault introducing me to tea cake. Like, comment, let me go finish these tea cakes, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.